What are you drinking?
Every
time you ask.
No, yeah, we're both drinking. I have a gin and tonic.
Okay, I've got a bottle of wine.
All right, perfect. Welcome to the first episode of Happy Hour with Emily, an after-hours show where we take a deeper look into our rethinkers. Rules are simple. I will ask a series of questions ranging from simple to a bit more embarrassing, hopefully funny, but still within workplace appropriate culture. The questions get more challenging as we go along. This is a cocktail / spin-off of the Cuts Truth or Drink and Vogue 73 questions. In the original Truth or Drink, you have to drink every time you don't want to answer, but since this is Happy Hour with Emily, we are a bit more fun, and also the questions aren't that intense as the Cuts Truth or Drink. So we will be drinking after every answer, and if you don't want to answer, you have to drink twice. And our first guinea pig today is Nathan, our Executive Director of Programs. Nathan, what do you have today? Bottle of wine?
Yeah, I'm drinking a Godeo from Spain.
Well, that was the first question, so you have to drink. Cheers. What is something you always have on you other than phone, keys, and wallet?
Wine key.
Okay, you might be biased on this one, but what's your favorite restaurant in New York?
Whew. Oh, man. That is a tough question. It's so dependent on what the occasion is. We're going to have to edit this hardcore.
Nope.
Dining for me is always, I came to food through a love of like eating and like being around a table with people. So my favorite restaurant would be so dependent on what the occasion is and who I'm with. Right, the second question, that was not an easy one. It's a really tough one. Okay, I'm gonna have to say I haven't found it yet. Spicy, if I had to pick some favorite restaurants, it would be Collective Fare, Katie O's, Kopitiam, and Taco Mix, who were the first 4 restaurants that we brought into the Rethink family. You know, we weren't sure how to actually do it, how it was going to work, where the food was going to go, how we were going to pick it up, how much it was going to cost. Like, these were all things that were up in the air. And our first conversations were a lot of, we're going to figure that out, guys. We're going to figure that out. And having four families of restaurants being willing to help us figure that out is a really powerful statement on where their priorities are. Things are insane, but what hasn't changed is I have access to a kitchen. I've got people who can cook, and there are people who need food. And I'm going to figure out a way to make full use of the resources that I have at hand to meet the need in my community. And everybody at Rethink should get out to all of them as often as possible. Katie O's does a seafood boil on Sundays. She's an incredible personality. You got to get her Henny wings. It's insane. I'll just say that. Collective Fare, like this hybrid nonprofit catering company, cafe, just brilliant people who are out hustling that I admire so much. And if you haven't read the New York Times, they were mentioned in the New York Times. I'll send you the link. It just has this picture of them looking like royal, and obviously I will never look half as cool as I did in that picture. It's like so inspiring and really incredible. And then Moonlin and team at Kopitiam, which were sometimes at peak COVID, just down to 2 or 3 people because people weren't willing to come in. And every day they still delivered hundreds of incredibly delicious meals to us on a regular basis, even when nobody wanted to come into work. Taco Mix, same thing as Alejo Sanchez and his family and his team, while managing 4 locations and working on opening another location while this was all happening, just helping us figure out the system that was a blank page when we started. And he has my favorite Tacos Al Pastor in the city. And all of them, just really, really incredible people who deserve to blow up beyond their wildest dreams and get like front page eater coverage every day.
Yeah.
And developing a massive empire of restaurants crisscrossing the country.
Oh yeah, drink.
Drink.
Still talking about food. What's one ingredient you put in anything?
Shallot powder, not as sharp. It's really beautiful and mellow and sweet. Roasted or browned, anything.
Agree. All right. If you could switch lives with someone at Rethink for a day, who would it be?
Whoa. These are the easy ones? DJ or Elijah? Somebody on the trucking team. Is it inappropriate if I pour myself a little more wine?
No. All right. What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever purchased?
So easy. I bought a pair of selvage denim at APC in Paris. I've been working overseas for a couple of years, and I was much skinnier than I am now. And I had also just been sick, so I was even skinnier. And I went to APC and I bought this selvage denim, and the salesperson told me, you got to like size down because they stretch out. So I sized down again, and I wore them on a first date in New York, and had to go to the bathroom and even worse, it was in my bar. I had just opened my bar, so I took the date to my bar to look, and I looked really, really impressive. Like, we walked into my bar, it was full, everyone was having fun. I had to go to the bathroom, and it got really stressful from there.
Drink after that, for sure.
Yeah, it got embarrassing after I did. Yeah.
Someone at Rethink killed someone. Would you help them cover it up? And also, who would you rat out?
You're all going down. Yeah, killing someone, there's a lot of restaurants I haven't gotten to yet. So
write a dating app bio in 5 words.
Oh man. Oh God. Food, books, drinks, travel. You, question mark?
Okay. Still on dating, what's the worst date you've ever been on?
I think I already answered that question.
Oh, yeah.
Unbutton a pair of pants I cannot fit into, or they're so tight I can't get them off so that I can embarrass myself further. Yeah. 2 minutes into the first date, they picked a restaurant, and they were like, they picked a Mexican restaurant, and she said, just so you know, I don't really like spicy things. Oh, that's okay. Even things that like seem like they're gonna be spicy. So like, like pepper. I was like black pepper? She's like, yeah, like black pepper, and like green peppers, and like onions. And then it just, I had to sit through dinner for 2 hours with somebody who just didn't like food or eating.
What's an offense? What's an offense you've committed here at Rethink or at a previous place of work that could have and should have gotten you fired? Goody two shoes over here.
Yeah, model employee. Absolutely. African jungle. Oh, I was hired to weed on a farm. And he let me hire my friends. He's like, you can hire anybody. This is how much it is per row. Hired my friends at a much lower rate per row and was going to keep the difference myself. And on the first day, my best friend weeded an entire row of strawberries and pulled out all the strawberry plants. I should have been fired for that, obviously. I spent the next 3 weeks working off my friend's row of strawberry plants that he pulled up. I'm a little boring. Yeah.
When do you think you peaked?
As a camp counselor at age 20. I was really, really good camp counselor. I was a really good camp counselor.
Okay, and 10 things off. Who is your favorite coworker?
Little Tippy. Whoever I'm working with at the current moment. Right now, you. How good are your editing skills?
Yes.
More wine. A little tipsy and indecisive. Yeah, it's been. I can't say this. That's like picking a favorite restaurant. There's just so many variables to your experience working with people. But I'll say this: the very first person I spoke to at Rethink was Maddie. I hounded her to make a donation, and then I wanted to volunteer, and she went out of her way to make sure that Matt called me back. And then I had a great conversation with Matt. And then on my first day, I met Winston and Nick. And I think I'm really fortunate to work with a group of people who have such an incredibly diverse background. To people who came to a nonprofit because they wanted to work in the nonprofit world and then Rethink aligned with their values. And then other people who just want to work in food, whether it's for-profit, nonprofit, and are there. And just like such a wide range of skills, from people who are super restaurant focused to the community groups that we work with. There's just been like a really good balance of people who are all pulling in the same direction. And one of the things I've been thinking about recently, it's one of the questions I like to ask in interviews. What is the thing that vehicle is that Rethink is the vehicle to help you accomplish? All those people here pulling in the same direction as as Rethink charts its path forward, but then we each individually have the things that we're trying to accomplish inside of that mission. And I think that's the most inspiring part. Nobody needs to know that it took me 20 minutes to answer that particular question.
Next drink's on me for you, because you've been such a great sport, and thank you so much. Like, really, thank you so much for working through some of this with me. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a good night.
Yeah.
And stay safe.
Doing some spreadsheets. I'm excited.
Bye, Nathan. Yeah.